So in our first lecture, we're going to develop guidelines for disseminating microdata. Of course, this is a sequel to a Stata programming course that's already available on the Udemy platform called Mastering Household Survey Data Processing, where you learn the theoretical foundations of household surveys. How do you create variables, but also how do you use advanced data manipulation techniques in Stata so that you can also create, for example, food and non-food real consumption aggregates, and also come up with poverty indices. So we launched this course in July 2024, and for you to really get the knowledge or the benefit of this second course, we really encourage you to go through this first course first, because you learn how to process survey data, and then now once you've learned that skill, going to the next phase where we which is this course, how do you program, or how do you come up with guidelines for disseminating survey data, but also in particular looking at how we can also automatically generate a report in Stata that can later be formatted to put it in a presentation that is also publishable. So that's what we're going to get into. So that's one part. The other part that I wanted to also do at this juncture is now to go through the Stata setup itself. And as usual, we create a do file because we're going to run multiple commands, and then we want to make sure that these commands are stored or saved in a file. So the first thing that we do is to save our do file, and usually in the folders that we're going to create, we're going to save it in a particular folder, and I call this IHS5 tutorial data analysis. The first one was on data processing. The second one now we'll be working on data processing, data analysis. So that's one thing that you have to do. So first thing is you save a do file, and before we enter any information there, we have to make sure that we have a do file that's available. Second, now for those that participated in the first course, there are several files that we created in the C drive, particularly looking at the folder called statistics and IHS5. We did create in the first course 6 files. We had a do file, a data file, then a graphs file, and you have an output file, and we also had results file. In this version of the course, we're also going to add 4 additional folders that we're going to use. First is called the geovariables. The data that once you go through the first course, we're able to generate some data or download some data from the World Bank website, and one of them is called a household geovariables, IHS file. This is also an important data file that we're also going to use through this course, as we are also conducting data analysis and report writing for this for the IHS file. The shapefile and coordinates, these are data files that we're going to generate through the course. So don't mind them now, but I'll take you through the process of how we can also generate those variables. But also, I'll make sure that in the report, in the resources section of each lecture, I'll also add the important data files, or even in some cases we're also going to add shape files, right? In the report file, we're going to store reports that we're going to generate. So this IHS statistical report is the report that is going to be automatically generated by the Stata code that we're going to run. And then based on this, I'll also show you how you can also use that report generated, format it into a publishable report, but also a report that can also be shared with, for instance, policymakers. So that's the report part. Then we're also going to add this file called shapefile. Shapefile, we're going to store, especially shapefiles for maps. And here we're looking at, the shapefile for the country Malawi with its districts. That also includes, district polygons. And then we've already created using QGIS a map that we're going to use for this course. And then lastly, you should also create a folder called table. All the tables that we're going to generate through this starter course, we're going to store them here. These are also important because we use these tables to also insert these into the report that we're going to create. So that's the setup. Once you've set everything up, then the next thing that we need to do is go back to our Stata file, and then also set up the and make sure that we set up based on the criteria that we've just mentioned, based on the data that the data files that we've created. So the first thing that we do is, again, this is the same nomenclature we used during the first course. First we have to set the starter file path and structure. Idea here is to inform Stata where we'll be getting our data, and also where we will be storing the results or the graphs, the tables that we're going to create. So first of all, we just want to make sure that anything in the system is dropped. We also clear everything, and then we also want to know what is the parent working directory, and then if that parent working directory, if it's different, we have to change it, where we'll be getting or using the system to store as well as to retrieve data from the computer. And here it's in the C drive in a folder called statistics, and then also looking at a folder called IHS5, and we also have a folder called data, just like we had displayed, we had showed in that folder. Then here we just want to confirm that once we've created this directory, this directory link, you should also ensure that yes, indeed, my parent working directory has changed from what it is to now the statistics folder. Then also we create what we call global file paths. I'm just telling Stata here that my data path will be the IHS5, and then here everything will be from that data path. And then if I want, again, just to confirm that the directory is this, it should also tell me that indeed it's pretty much the same. And then my data, DTA path, where I'm going to get most of the data files will be in the household. Also show you, because even if you go back to this folder, if I go there, I know that there's agriculture, household, household data, fisheries data, as well as also looking at community as well as agriculture, right? So that's the path, and then the graphs, will be saving them in this folder called graphs. We already have that one. Even if you go back to this, you see that indeed we do have a path called graphs. Okay, So that's the approach. And then we're also telling Stata here that my report path will be a folder called reports, and then the table path where I'll store all tables will be in a folder called table. And then also, if I'm looking at, if I want geo variables, shape files, the geo variables, sorry, not the shape file, but when we're looking at data that we can use in terms of getting all the geo variables, it will be from a folder called geo variables. And then lastly, the shape file will be a folder where we're also going to get our maps. Then lastly, we'll be setting up Stata, just telling Stata that this is version 18.5. As you can see, this is now Stata now, that's the latest version. Previously we used in Stata 18 in the first course, and now we're using Stata 18.5, not pretty much different from 18.0, but again, this is a good platform. Then just telling Stata again, if there's any program running, drop it. If there's any graph running, drop it. And then I'm setting my memory to 350 megabytes, and then also matrix size to 500, and then also my maximum memory there, my scheme color, as well as line size, which should not exceed 100 characters. And then I will also set morph. Once that is done, I think the other thing that I also wanted to add is we also need to make sure that we have a log path, and then that log path is where we're going to use to ensure that we store all the logs, or it's going to log all the Stata commands that we're going to run, as well as the results. Whatever will be run here will be stored in this log path. Okay, so once that is done, you can run everything, and then we're set to get into another lecture, where now we'll start the process of now generating the relevant variables that we need for us to do this second course, which is about describing or developing guidelines on how you can disseminate microdata that we've processed during the first course. So that's, see you in the next lecture.